I'm dreaming of a bluey Christmas. Merry Christmas and holidays and season to y'all. We are coming at you, delayed and air quotes on location from the Adelaide Christmas pageant. Frank, merry happy
thing.
Happy merry festive times, Martin.
Thank you, Brandon.
This episode of the Hammerbarn project is called Proper Custard.
Let's come clean. We were going to go to the pageant.
We were going to go for those who are outside of Australia. Our hometown of Adelaide.
I can hear the thunder now.
Yeah, exactly. Not to bury the lead, but it is bucketing down. But we are our city in particular is very famous for having a wonderful pageant through the main streets of
the memories
of the town. All of us have been there as kids. Great times. And now we're at that stage where we can take our little nibblings to the pageant. Just maybe not this year, because you might hear some rumbling in the background. No, I'm not hungry. It's because there is plenty of thunder, rain, and other lightning. Yes, other weather-based mischiefs out there. So yeah, good call. So we're watching it on telly.
Yeah, watching it on telly, and we can see all the people in the streets. And people still tend to come out for the pageant.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of people
delightful. But I'm not one of them. But we're doing something that speaks Christmas to me. We're here with our friends and our friends' children. Hi guys. Hi Naomi.
Hello Jack.
Hey Jack.
Can you say hi?
They're waving. They're
waving. They're eating.
So maybe the rumbling was.
Could have been.
Good waving, Naomi. But we thought, we'd get together, watch it on the telly, which is something that I'm more used to doing than actually being at a pageant from my... But we'll cross back to the studio in a moment. We just thought, Frank, what episode are we doing in the studio?
This episode of Bluey is called Veranda Santa.
Good. We didn't plan that.
It took me a second to remember.
I hope Frank actually remembered that because we decided on that like ages ago, and all our planning was just to get to Marty's house for the pageant. Marty's house.
Wait,
did I say Marty's house?
I think you did.
Why would we go to Sydney for the Adelaide Christmas pageant?
That's a long way to go.
That is a long way. Why did you come? Wait a minute.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, should we explain it, or should we cross to the... We'll go back to the studio to explain it?
I think so.
Those guys are a bit smarter than
Those guys are a bit smarter. So over to you in the studio, me and you guys. Thanks, us. And a very Merry Christmas to all our listeners. You know what, Frank?
Yes, mate.
If I had a Christmas wish...
Yeah?
I
think I know what it would be.
Are you supposed to tell people your...
It's not like cutting a cake. It's fine.
Not, are you supposed to?
Okay,
it's not like a New Year's resolution.
We've already given the game away. But that Martin's back, and we're gonna do a podcast. Hey, the Martin's back. Yeah, that Martin's back. Frank's son's name is Jack. That was the only rhyme I could think of in the car on the way over here. But I mean, thanks for you guys at the pageant for crossing back to the studio. We're all feeling very Christmassy.
We're ready to go.
I'm feeling Christmassy. Frank's feeling Christmassy.
Super Christmassy.
And Martin Vanderweier.
Yes.
He's here. Where do you live again?
I live in Adelaide.
Yay!
This is so exciting. I've actually really been looking forward to this moment.
Yeah.
Where I get to announce it on the podcast and say, I am back.
Yeah, it's not official until it's Hammerbarn Project episode official.
I mean, I would have thought with all your love of Arnold Schwarzenegger, it has to be done in the voice, yeah?
Here we go.
Yeah, I'll be back.
That
was awful. Anyway.
That wasn't too bad.
No, it's like, I don't even know, Frank, you'll find out, you slipped it a couple of weeks ago, podcasts ago, because you said Marty's still in Sydney, implying that I was still over there. Anyway.
There you go.
But no, it's so good to be back. Like, you probably even heard the tone of my voice when I've been back here and just kind of like
the smile.
Yeah, I'm back. I'd want to be here more permanently, and yeah, we've made the move. Nice. Sydney was fun, but ultimately kind of like not for me.
Yeah,
it's a place for some people, not me.
Yeah, sure. Gotcha.
I think ultimately it was, and I was wondering when this was going to come up. I am 100% a cat person.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of ironic considering the nature of the podcast. But
Yeah.
I think it speaks to the show that people who are cat people can still enjoy a dog show.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things in Sydney. There's just so many dogs.
They
are
right.
And it's just kind of like, you're everywhere. Can't be outside and pee and just enjoy things. Anyway, back in Adelaide and just looking around parks going, yes, this is a good amount of dogs.
There's no place like home.
Yeah.
There's no place like home.
Sydney.
I love
Yeah.
Sydney. Sydney's so exciting, but I loved going to New York. I loved going to London. Just like it's big cities just are really exciting, but I've never really lived in one.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Sorry, Brenny. I just picked up this name that you dropped. Sorry.
If it's not people's names, it's place names. I've been to London. I've been to New York. Well, I mean, we'll be crossing back to the boys at the pageant.
Absolutely.
Here and there, but they were kind enough to throw to us, and they were kind enough to deliver the news that we'll be speaking about the Veranda Santa episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, now that he's in the room, does he have some Christmassy
What are the Christmas bones?
bones?
The turkey bones? The
not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
Okay, all right. Yes, I do. So this episode, it's a nexus of two debates that have really been taxing philosophers since the beginning of time. So like around the ideas of morality. So on one side, you've got, the conversations, the dialogue of Immanuel Kant and Hume and all the other moral philosophers, the ideas around the categorical imperative, this idea that, should you just be doing the right thing because you're being observed by some omnipotent being, in this case being Santa Claus, of course, in a very Old Testament sort of style of, or is it more of a New Testament sort of idea of, how you would like to be treated? So that's the first debate, a real fundamental one to nature. And the second one is custard, hot or cold?
Yeah, I like my custard. No way.
It's equal, equally complicated and nuanced debates. I
Right.
think.
Yeah. Debates for the ages. Yeah.
What's it really about? So this is an episode in which everybody's hanging around, I am assuming on Christmas Eve. So the wider Healer family. So they decide to play a game of Veranda Santa, because of course, Santa comes in via the veranda when you don't have a chimney. And it's just about, what happens when you're good? What happens when you're bad? What happens when other people aren't nice to you and how you react to that? And doing that all, wrapped up in a Christmas sort of gift giving and those ideas, the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah. We've all done Philosophy 101, by which I mean we've all seen The Good Place, haven't we?
I actually did Philosophy 101 at uni, so and I haven't seen The Good Place, so I think you're ahead of me.
I'm more of a good place kind of person.
But as you were saying, most importantly, hot and over chunks of banana.
Really?
Yeah, I love a good vanilla custard with chunky banana bits.
Okay. I don't mind warm custard. I'll go there.
Nah, cold.
You like your chocolate? What
Warm
does Chili say?
custard
'Cause
is
Trixie
just-
said,
Just glue.
yeah.
Okay. I was the kid who ate glue at the back of the classroom. All right, there's nothing wrong with it. It hasn't affected me at all.
That's great. Isn't that like the opening of the episode? Like the first thing you hear is
it's sort
they're
of
all laying
panning
around,
in.
and it just paints the scene immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
You
this
know
is
where you
Christmas
are.
Eve, and I want to be there.
It's so warm and friendly. Isn't it?
and it just reeks of family and togetherness, and
The fact that they're all just lying on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
That's 100% what
The
you do.
color palette as well. Like it's all that sort of oranges and reds and sort of glowy Christmas lights.
oh boy,
And it is that place where you have those important, deep conversations like
Yes.
preferences
Well,
for custard and,
yeah, all lying on the floor, just looking like they're having a great Christmassy family time. I think Stripe later in the episode has different reasons for needing to lie on the floor.
Had a bit too much of a good time from the look of it.
Bit too much of a good time. But speaking of a good
nog.
time,
Yeah.
do you mind if we quickly cross back to the gentleman?
Oh,
at
yeah.
the pageant?
Yeah, what they're up to.
Because I think a very, very special guest. Yes, I'm hearing now a very special guest. Fellas at the pageant, are you there? Have we got you? Thanks for crossing to us. Peter Coombe just came on the screen.
Oh,
Marty!
he's back!
Marty, it's Peter Coombe!
It's Peter Coombe! What's he singing?
Merry Christmas to you and to you. Well, I mean...
He's not singing a Peter Coombe song.
Hey, if Peter Coombe's singing it, it's a Peter Coombe song. For Peter Coombe memories to the uninitiated, just listen back to our collaboration episode with the Gotta Be Done ladies.
Yes,
because
he gets more than a shout
the
out.
Peter Coombe album got a shout out.
Any Australians will know who he is.
My mum's partner Andy grew up next door to Peter Coombe.
Whoa!
Just up the road.
Well, this just in,
Adelaide.
breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Marty's lovely Ali's mum's partner grew up next door.
To Peter Coombe.
There you go.
Whoa.
Adelaide.
Yes,
Adelaide.
I mean, he predates the Wiggles. Like, he was the preeminent kids entertainer before the Wiggles were a thing. Like, what's that, mate? Grapes, yeah.
I think those egg costumes might be filling up a bit. Opening of the top.
Yeah, listeners, there's a dinosaur float now, which Naomi seemed particularly interested in. Good work, mate. And there's people walking around, like just dinosaurs who have just hatched.
Just hatched from
and
the
they're
eggs.
walking around with lovely egg costumes, but they're open to the skies, which would normally be summery. This year, Mother Nature had other ideas. Yeah. That's just awesome because the kids were jumping on the bed before, not really interested in the
that's
pageant.
right.
Now that the real floats are coming out,
Correct.
they're as close to the screen as I ever was when I was a kid.
Yep.
Oh, this is my mum's favourite.
Oh, the choir.
This is Mary's Boy Child, this song.
Right.
This
Yes.
song always makes me think of my mum. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of it, but it just makes me smile because my mum loves it.
It just makes me think of
The
when
chorus
we
is
used to
very
work at Howard's and we had the worst Christmas music ever.
Awful.
It was like a 5 CD set of like terrible music, including the worst song I've ever heard.
Brian Adams?
No,
There's something
the one
about Christmas time?
No,
That was pretty
bad. No, my least favourite one was the Little Drummer Boy done by Destiny's Child.
Oh boy.
That was pretty
Yikes.
heinous. Are you gonna dance?
Oh, I can hear that thunder. I'm glad I'm inside. I'm here with my best friends. The kids are dancing. Oh, they're holding hands, guys. Naomi and
right.
Jack are holding hands, going on.
Come this way.
Come this way.
Naomi is totally the boss.
I would do as Naomi told me.
Jack is a follower.
Christmas carols on the TV, toys everywhere, and it's not even Christmas, but it feels like Christmas. Back to you in the studio. Yes, cheers, lads. You know what? The scene they're describing is not sounding too dissimilar from the one that we're seeing in the Bluey episode.
Absolutely.
Very family central, kids doing their
that's a good
thing,
point.
toys everywhere.
Trying to figure out what's in their presents.
Yeah.
Injuring their fathers.
I'm sure there was a nut shot in there somewhere.
I accept you're sorry.
I love that line. I know it becomes the theme of the episode
Yes.
and all those things, but I love the idea that he's just so out of it that he can't think of the word apology, and it just becomes sorry. I accept your sorry.
I know we love to talk about the music and the audio in this show. There's quite clearly, jingle bells type sort of, across the whole gamut of the episode. But I particularly love that if you listen closer, you can still hear, because we're talking sort of a summer's eve in Brisbane. You can hear what sounds like, I'm not sure what sort of bird life there is, but you can hear the cicadas. Most importantly, that real little buzz of these insects that you go, it's summertime in Australia. That's what you're going to hear.
Well. Yeah, for sure. I love, and on the music, I think there's some Nutcracker Suite sort of filtered in there. Is that what that? Because I only really know Nutcracker Suite best from like Fantasia, and that is that Nutcracker Suite? It does sound Russian. It does sound.
I'm not sure.
I'll have to. Maybe I'll cut this out if I'm wrong. But that's becoming my catchphrase. My catchphrase. My catchphrase.
Meow.
That is cool because Joff kind of mixes that with Joy to the World or something.
Yes.
And that's really cool. And
nice.
then Silent Night is constantly sneaking in there for the stings and stuff. It's just brilliant. And the sleigh bells, like you said, Frank, just kind of filtered through. I mean, what can this guy? What can't this guy do?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. There's not a lot this guy can't do. Yes, we got there.
Yeah. Thanks for the save. So this is another one of those episodes where Bluey is arguably, I don't want to say villain, but
learns a lesson through.
But I mean, honestly, like this is, she
doing things.
She's the most challenging character in this episode to the point where she's just blatantly nut, and she's going to cause trouble, and Bandit knows she's going to cause trouble to the tune of strap yourselves in, kids.
So good. Yeah, so good. And the moment just before that, because Bluey gets bitten by Socks, and Socks is only one. We have to teach her. And who wants to be Veranda Santa this time? Staring at Socks, just like me. And
Socks stops panting. She's like. Even she knows something just went down.
Oh boy. But it just goes to show how good this show is at painting these characters, because like Bluey's a real kid because she comes in and she rigs it so that Socks doesn't get a present, and I'm really disappointed in her, and Bandit's really disappointed in her. But it's like, but I get it. Like, she's learning as well. And whereas a lesser show, you might go, oh, this kid's like being naughty and being unlikable. But I love Bluey in that moment.
Oh, she comes because around she's so
they can. It's a testament to this show that they can have characters do these things that are, not the right thing to do. But because they paint them so well across the arc of the whole show, and you get to know them. It's like when someone you love does something, at
her
wrong.
core, she's still a good dog.
Yeah. And that's we shouldn't take that for granted, because that's only possible that I still, love her as a character in that moment when she's being naughty, because of how well I feel like I know her because of the way they tell these stories,
Can we talk about the real hero of this episode?
Let's do it.
I mean, Stripe was possibly looking at my number one, because there's a couple of other instances of Stripe. Yeah.
I love how much she has to apologize to Santa. I love every time they apologize. I'm sorry. It's always proclaiming to the heavens.
Like appealing to some transcendent power.
Appealing to that power. He's so sorry about that. And then just the other adults. I'm fairly sure it's Bandit and Chili.
Yeah.
Because Bandit sits on him, and then Chili kind of opens the door.
And that's the subtle one that I missed probably the first couple of times through, because you see him there, and if you look closely in the frame, he's in front of the front door. And then when Socks goes outside and they go to teach Bluey the lesson, they're focused on this real teachable moment. Swings the door open, no doubt into Stripe's nether regions once again.
I just love that, and just nothing gets touched upon it. It's just like
not referred to
at all. It's like, that's fine. It's Stripe. That's what they do to him.
So that was going to be my hero of the episode.
Yeah.
It's Bandit and I know Bandit features heavily in this episode, but specifically the moment where he's done his role at Veranda Santa. Oh, it's Bluey's turn right before she, does the thing with Socks, and he just dives on the bed on all the kids. Yeah. And it's such a dad move. You go, okay, do this thing. And then for no reason, just causing chaos. And the kid's like, oh, Dad, get off. I'm just like, yes, that is 100% a dad move. I'm going to be that dad who just like, long before I had kids, I was that. I distinctly remember going to the carols up at Civic Park.
Yeah.
And Geordie and Anna's kids and Greg and Ann's kids and several of our friends, the kids were running amok. Poor mum and dad have been dealing with this for years. I hadn't experienced it to that point.
Right.
And I just remember once they worked out that I was the rough, they come up to me and I was like, oh, push them away type thing, like playing real fun. And there was just this moment where I was just on my knees on the grass and these kids were swarming over me like ants. I just stood there with my hands out and Geordie's just looking at me, just shaking his head, just going,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was all fun and games until one of the kids copped a stray, kick to the head type thing. Then it was over. But for a few moments there, I was just like, this is great.
Speaking of fun and games, there's lots of fun to be had at the Adelaide National Pharmacy's Christmas Pageant.
Oh, yeah.
Should we check on... there's a couple of interesting floats coming through now, I think.
Let's do it.
Let's cross to the lads, shall we?
Okay, yep.
Thanks, lads.
What's that one, Jack?
Oh, the big bad wolf. Grandma's hiding under the bed.
did not.
Have I ever seen that before?
Has it been there the whole time?
Okay,
That's one of the old ones, right?
Yeah, we've got the Little Red Riding Hood float and a quite obvious, not very incognito wolf in the bed. A huge animatronic wolf. But I just saw that Grandma is hiding underneath the bed.
But you almost have to look past
Pulling-
the little side table she's got there
Yeah.
as well. Like, she's well
I-
hidden
that might be the first time I'd ever seen that.
in a 90-year-old float.
Yeah, very possibly.
Nice.
Toad of Toad Hole.
Is this like Wind in the
Wind
Willows?
of the Willows float.
The Willows float.
Is Wind in the Willows still a thing? Like, can you
Hey, Naomi.
find
Well,
it
it
anywhere?
was 90 years ago. Maybe.
Can you show that to Brendan?
What do we got?
Have you got a car?
Yeah, show it to Brendan.
I'm Frank. That's Brendan.
Show it to the other one.
What do we got? Oh, did you see the lightning? Oof.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Yeah, you put those back in
that's
there,
a
please.
cool van.
Put the blueberries back in here, please, Jack.
What's that? Is that a postie van? Oh, it's a
Yeah.
legit Australia Post van.
And,
Naomi's just come up to me and she's showing me a little a toy car that she's got, and it's legit got the Australia Post logo on it, and it says this is new because we deliver. That wasn't a.
It's about 20 years old.
It's about 20 years old. Okay, well we deliver just came back on pens, so maybe.
It took that long
That's
for you
brilliant.
to get your new stationery. Who did you use to get that delivery?
Look,
We
it might have been,
deliver unless it's toy truck
that's
or
probably
stationary.
That's express by Australia Post standards. Back to you. Thank you, as always, gentlemen. I tell you what, that Naomi of yours, she's pretty great.
good.
Pretty great.
She's an adorable handful. What I was like, one of the things I think about when I see the game of Veranda Santa is that's much more like a game that I'm used to playing with Naomi. It's just like there's a thing that happens. Great, let's do it again.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
or like, there's so many episodes of Bluey where it's like, you know, a whole bunch of the travel type episodes.
Yep.
You know, we've already talked about bus and train. These very long narratives with flow and all this, you know, sort of narrative development. Very used to just like
This thing's fun.
This thing's
Yeah.
fun. Stop telling us to jump on the bed, and then we'll jump on the bed again, and then you tell us to stop doing it, and you just repeat that ad nauseum, as is happening at the house right now. But you know, just this idea of like, you know, you come in, somebody puts things on the toy, and you go hooray, and like, and then you repeat. Somebody else has a turn. Like it's just interesting. It's a different flavor for Bluey type games.
Yep.
That's maybe like angled a little bit lower, potentially because Muffin and Socks are sort of there.
Yeah.
And it's super cute when Bingo's like, "Oh, Socks, you can be my helper." And she,
Yeah.
Yeah.
includes her in that. That's
All
nice.
right. Yeah.
Okay, big question time.
Oh.
What are the gifts that are given?
Okay.
There's a few of them.
Let's see how many of them you
Okay,
can get.
you've got a
so
list
what have
there,
I
right?
got? I've got 1, 2, 3.
Martin was
Great
counting, so I thought
podcasting.
I
Great podcasting. I couldn't figure out whether it was better podcasting to continue to
But
count
here's
out loud
here's the
or
thing.
count in my
Here's
head.
the thing, though. If you were counting on your notes page, and I started going, I would have done that if we were podcasting.
There are 13.
There are 13. All right.
Okay.
Let's
All
see
right.
how many you can get.
I know the first one is the snow globe,
Yep, well done.
Title card of the episode.
and then there is a bottle of shaving cream,
Yep,
Yep.
well done.
and the pencil case.
Yes, yeah, there's
They're the
a
first
around
three.
that. That's right.
And then I stopped paying attention.
So from memory, that's then Bluey's turn with the game. She comes in with a remote control
Oh, well done.
for the TV.
Oh, underpants.
Underpants for
Purple
Bandit.
pants
yes.
are there, yeah.
Uh,
I got to see where that is.
there's a roll of toilet paper in there
That's
somewhere.
right.
Okay,
There's a
okay.
toilet.
Maybe-
You guys
maybe-
are doing awfully well.
Nice.
There's a blue tongue lizard. I
There's
assume
the
it's
blue
like
tongue
a
lizard,
wood
the
Good
toy
work, good
we
work.
see every once in a while. yeah.
And the one I see very paint roller.
Yep, there's a paint roller. You're right.
Right.
You're doing amazingly
How
well.
many is that?
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one that you should get.
Oh, the
Yes, that's it. That's why.
The fidget
That's
spinner.
such a good the fidget
Yeah.
spinner.
and the way Bingo refers, I got this thing.
This thing, yeah,
she
it doesn't know what it is.
Oh, man.
But it's I think I'm noticing that now as a Bluey trope of something will happen that's a little bit less cool.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
there'll
yeah.
be a sting at the
That
end where it's
moment
like
of
something
levity.
funny.
Yeah, to break the tension.
It's just brilliant. It's just
Yeah.
comedy 101 because it's the pathos of the episode. Poor Socks has run off, and Bandit's really upset with.
Yeah.
Well, Bandit's a bit disappointed with Bluey, and runs off, and you're sitting there as a viewer going, "Oh," and then the writer's like, "All right, now." So we don't lose the kids. That moment for the 4-year-olds. Whee! It's just, but it doesn't take away anything from the pathos. It's
that's
brilliant.
right.
It's brilliant.
And some of the
What
other
else
things
we
I
got?
like. I like the snow globe and the fact that it's got the big bubble at the top and then the bubbles that sit next to the big bubble.
Yeah.
There is something. Yeah, that's 100% snow globe.
I'll have to
the way
look
that's-
more closely on that.
Yeah,
That's well animated.
Yeah, the Summer Santa snow globe, so good.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say it might be worth describing to some of our
Yeah, that's
international listeners that Santa in the snow globe is pretty much down to his
At the
his
beach.
red Speedos.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's on the
I
beach.
think
He's got his
He's
sunglasses
in
on.
boardies. He's respectful enough to be wearing boardies, not budgie smockers.
That's quite a common depiction of Santa in this
Yeah.
part of the world.
That's right. Okay, I'll give you the other ones.
Okay,
Any
yeah,
last
I'll give that.
guesses?
Is a tennis ball? Like
There is a tennis
Yeah.
ball. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys have done so well. I was expecting this to be like one of my boring games. Okay.
None of your games are boring.
One of the items is it's a purple block.
yes.
Yeah,
you're
there's a
right.
purple block. There's a tin of beans.
That's
Tripped on my
right.
beans.
Of course.
And the last one's kind of hard to tell. It's sort of like a bottle, baby bottle or pipette type thing,
Okay,
like
right.
a medicine bottle type thing.
Yeah,
Right, sure.
yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the last ones. But I was also going to say I love the remote because it's got that little red bit at the front, which makes it look like that's the secondary TV that lives upstairs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's got like little red bit of plastic. It's supposed to one of the new ones. Gives it, that's that tactility, that classic.
Yeah. You're so good at noticing good props, buddy.
I love it.
Oh, should we check in on the lads just quickly?
I
No.
think it's
I'm talking. No, let's go back to that other version of
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
He's kind of cool.
He's pretty good.
all
He's-
right.
he goes
He's
all
pretty
right.
relaxed.
And over to you, other versions of us people. Thanks very much again. Well, we're enjoying it here. I think I'm enjoying it more than the people on the TV, to be honest. they're pretty wet.
Some of them are looking pretty. They're doing their best. They're putting their smiles on, but in amongst the
Because
running makeup
it's
and the
not
wet hair.
and the nature of the pageant, it's not like you can come out and wave and then go back in because it's
you're there.
It's constant.
Yep.
Like
Floats
your
going
audience is like a revolving door.
Yeah.
But I did before I got here. I did download the map, the route map. Can I just read a couple of my favourite bits?
Yeah.
So it goes around the CBD of Adelaide, and it starts down on South Terrace, but it goes up and it chucks a right at Victoria Square, and then where does it say? What were the bits I love? I love that it finishes at Carol's, maybe I should laugh, but Carol's performances presented by Beaumont Tile. I just think it's the most Adelaide thing I've ever heard in my life.
Sponsorship.
I like that it's kind of like that because in another capital city it might be sponsored by Coca-Cola or something, but I kind of like
Beaumont Tiles
I like that
is
the Carols
Adelaide.
are sponsored by Beaumont Tiles.
Because, it's as you head into the festive season, you really want to do that bathroom reno you've been talking about for ages.
Nipper and Nimble, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop the press.
We have stopped the press. Marty, I don't know if Marty's out the room. He's wrangling children.
Get over here!
Nipper and Nimble, the feature of the day.
Horse. Jack
Horse, like the horses.
The OG
So
horse.
for any of the uninitiated, Nipper and Nimble, they've been around since
They're
the
icons.
beginning of the pageant.
Icons.
You
You guys missed the horses.
but hang on. Now it's
Now we're looking
now
for...
it's more bagpipists. See if we can see Anna. I'll fill you in. Nipper and Nimble are the names of two ponies, and you get to ride them. I can't remember what the I can't remember the winner of a local competition gets to ride. And I think I knew someone who got to ride on Nipper or Nimble at one point. And there were two children on there just now.
Yeah.
And to this day, I'm a 38-year-old man, and to this day I see a kid riding on Nipper and Nimble and just thought, what could have been?
Could have been you,
Could have
Brenny.
been me.
Could have been you.
What do we got on this map? The pageant uses the eastern carriageway on King William Street, south, until Goodger Street, and then the western carriageway until Grote Street. The northern carriageways in Victoria Square and North Terrace, and the western carriageways in Pulteney Street and King William Street North. So, for those map heads out there who wanted to know the exact route which we're following. So Josh.
Josh.
Hi,
Josh.
This was his request. That was his payment for doing all our PA announcements over the years.
We should have him on the show one day.
We should have it. Well, I mean, technically we've had him on every show.
I was going to say, other than he's the fourth voice you hear every single time on Hammerbarn.
Yeah.
Is he the fourth Beatle?
He's sort of like the fourth Beatle.
Yes. Ringo.
Sorry, Josh. Ringo rules. Foodland, mighty South Aussies, yeah. Ads. That's the other thing.
What happened to them? They were a thing, weren't they?
I'm such a streamer now. I don't have an aerial hooked up to my TV.
Yeah, Marty, do you want to talk us through how you managed to get this wonderful free-to-air?
Yeah, exactly. So free-to-air pageant is currently being run through. I had to sign up to the Channel 9 streaming service, and now it's hooked up to a laptop, which is HDMI to my TV.
It's so simple
I can watch.
these days.
It's so simple to
Modern
watch
technology
free-to-air
just
TV.
makes things so convenient.
I love how Naomi and Jack have two different states. Either like bursting with energy, jumping on a bed in a different room, completely unaware that the pageant's happening, or
Fully locked in.
just as close to the TV as you can possibly be, just completely absorbed.
You want some milk?
This rotunda in celebration of the rotunda on the Elder Park lawn by the Torrens.
Really?
It's so Adelaide.
You know, this all at the time of year when,
Man, that band is awesome. Sorry, Frank.
as we know, in the famous Macy's Day Parade in New York, there was a certain blue dog that got her own
Macy's
massive balloon.
Thanksgiving Day Parade gets a Bluey float.
Yep.
So,
And we got a rotunda. Is that
Do
what
I
you're
get
telling me?
A blue rotunda.
do I get my hopes up, or is that a bad idea? Like, because
It's probably a bad idea.
I mean,
We could just pretend there's one.
It's
And he's the bingo
here's the
float! It's going around the corner!
Oh my gosh! It's
she's
actually
waving.
flying. There's no. It seems to be propelled magically. It's flying. Naomi's looking at me like, where?
Beautiful view of Adelaide's architecture. The some wonderful brutalist buildings there in the background.
Nothing says the Christmas spirit like brutalism.
Seymour College.
This be it? Oh, okay, guys, sorry, this is hot off the press.
Oh, I'm looking for Anna, family friend of Marty and Ali. Bagpipes.
Annie and sweetheart. We're looking for Anna. Can you see Anna on the TV? Oh, they look so sad and wet. They're all like,
Also, they're playing the bagpipes.
Controversial. Back to you in the studio. Thank you, lads. I love the bagpipes. Just any bagpipe enthusiasts out there, nothing against you.
You know we don't have a lot of listeners in Scotland, right?
Well, maybe this will turn the tide. Front page news. Man likes bagpipes. Australian man, Brendan Williams,
Australian man likes bagpipes.
has been saying out loud that he enjoys bagpipes.
They're great. Yeah, there is a big chasm between a good bagpipist and a bad bagpipist. You see a good bagpipist, very impressive. The bad ones are a dime a dozen.
So, because it's Christmas and there are no rules, can we talk about the other hero of this episode?
Oh, he's doubling up.
Okay, all right.
This is one where, you know, we resonate with certain characters on this show in certain moments. Today at Christmas, I was Muffin because there's the moment where they're playing Veranda Santa. All right, good night. And Muffin actual falls asleep in the bed. Yeah, so I forget which one it is. I think it's when Bluey comes back in, and if you watch closely, hooray, Christmas morning, and Muffin just doesn't say anything. She's rubbing her eyes. She's all just like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Because
Fantastic.
she fell asleep, and I'm like,
I did
that would be
not-
me.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That would be you, Frank.
Yeah.
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 Because you're so old.
As Stripe would say,
Right in the parts.
I was like the other one that I got another line down here was like, my teddy bear. That's a good line.
Yeah,
That's
go
good.
with
It's
that.
like sleepy teddy bear.
and I mean, we thought some of those floats of the pageant were big.
Mm.
How big is the bed that the majority of the action takes place in? Because skipping to the end of the
entire
episode,
family seems to be able
you
to-
count,
yeah.
right? There's 3 adults and 4 kids on a single bed that then somehow has a magic stretchy blanket that covers all of them, followed by the same volume of space they would take up with pillows to
Yeah,
throw
where they get all
Bandit
those
off the
pillows.
scent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
that's
still enough
great.
pillows for them to start whacking Bandit with. How many pillows? Well, did everyone get pillows for Christmas? Because there are a lot of pillows.
I don't know. I would feel like that's something Trixie might have. That's very in her feng shui. Just like lots of pillows.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Okay.
Like, yeah. Enough sinister plotting.
Good night.
and just the noises once he shuts the door of just like and things sliding across the floor.
So, it's
Oh,
so
ho,
funny.
ho, no.
It just becomes like a Christmas horror movie.
Yeah.
Like Home Alone all of a sudden. It's great.
Oh man. Oh dearie me. Oh! I think I see some more floats around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Should we just cross to the lads quickly?
Yep,
And hear
Nice
a
and
little
quick.
bit more about what's going on at that pageant.
Thanks for coming back to us, folks. I do have one question about this float, Brendan. This is advertised as Fergus the North Pole Fire Engine.
I think I might know where you're going.
Can you answer me, if your job is to put out fires, and it's a very important job, respect to those who do it, would you be particularly fond of being stationed in the North Pole?
I don't know if there'll be a lot of work going for a firefighter in those parts, but hey, what do I know?
Yeah, it's
You're certainly not going to have any trouble today. Fergus could probably take the day off. He's a beautiful float. He looks like a lovely.
amazing. It
He
looks
looks
like
like a
fun.
lovely, friendly fire engine, but it is also raining cats and dogs.
Let's put it this way.
Where they are at the
apart
moment.
from being skilled with, putting out fires, I reckon those firemen stationed at the North Pole are just really good poker players. Just really, really good.
They'd have the practice. We'll now cut to the other room. What are you doing? Where there are monkeys jumping on beds.
Marty, would you care to fill us in about what's happening in the other room there, please? Was there? We believe you were wrestling there, Marty, with some monkeys jumping on the bed. Is that,
That's right, yeah.
Is that true?
I was trying to,
Has the situation been contained?
Dr. Marty?
Yeah, that's it. I told them that no more monkeys should be jumping on the bed.
That's
That
the
you
rule.
called for me.
But this float's lovely. Christmas in the bush, is it? Now I know Jack would be very interested in this, but he's jumping on a bed as a monkey.
Cinnamon donut, anyone?
Oh yes, please. We'll report back after I finish my donut and see whether monkeys are still jumping on beds.
Thank you, gentlemen. Oh, I tell you what, that donut sounds delicious. I could go another one right now.
Said no podcaster ever.
That's a delicious sounding donut.
So you mentioned about Trixie's feng shui.
Yeah.
How's about, because I assume we're at the Healer household, yes?
Yeah.
How's about the Christmas lighting effort from
man.
Bandit
boy.
and Chili? Right, there's the long shot at the end where you see
There'll be planes landing.
right? and instead of reindeer, if you look, there's actually 3 kangaroos on the ceiling. But those deer where the heart of the episode lands, where Socks and Bluey have that moment, those deers look incredible. Like and they're positioned really well to look almost. You could just imagine like a baby Jesus at the foot of
Yeah,
the where the
I
deers
think
are
that's definitely
inspecting them.
what it like sort of like conjured up for me for sure.
Yeah.
A nativity kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something more specific than that, like a famous artwork of I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
love
it's such a touching moment, isn't it? Especially with Socks doing the little licking of the hand to say sorry. It's so sweet.
That is really, and that little, sort of like little dog crossover there.
Yes. Yeah. It's
We've talked about that before, where they
Yeah.
blur the line between what a human would do and what an actual dog would do, and
I think,
and that's nice.
Yeah, and just like that idea of as you evolve, as we probably talked about the specific thing, like as you grow up, you become less dog-like and more human.
Yeah.
So that's really sweet.
Yeah.
And I did love, I accused Bluey of being the villain earlier, but she's going, oh, why? What's the reason? And she goes outside and she sees Socks, and now it wasn't Bandit or Chili going, look, Socks is upset. They just show her the scene, and they go, that's the reason. And in that moment, she goes,
she gets it.
oh, like she fully understands.
Yeah.
Oh, I just think it's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a metaphor for how life really is, because sometimes the reason isn't something that you can describe. Sometimes the reason or a purpose for something is like something you can't put a finger on, and something you don't have to describe. It's just I don't know, maybe I think my mouth is writing a existential check that my brain cannot cash there by bringing that up. But it just feels nice that they don't go, look, that's the reason because this and this. They just look at that, feel that,
it's a feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
Talking about, I'm going to use a Frank line. Talking about things that are difficult to describe.
The look on your face when you deliver
I'm so
that.
happy with myself.
Yes,
Do
continue,
you
Martin.
guys want a Naomi's picks?
Let's do it.
It's a Christmas present for
Christmas
everyone.
present.
Actually, no, this one I don't want you to guess. But this is a good Naomi's pick story. So stick with me for this one.
We just quickly need the quickly need the intro.
Oh, okay.
Naomi's picks.
So which one was it? Oh, what else happens in that episode? You've got sausage sticks. You've got grapes. Look at the end of season 3 instead. No. Ivy doesn't go all the way around, so I have to go back to the start, and I have to go through again from the next one. It'll be there in a sec. Sorry.
That's a winner.
Just trying to explain
It just doesn't go on a constant loop. So if you get to the end of the season, you can't go around at the start again. You have to go back up, and then you have to go down again.
You're so desperate that you have to explain to your 2-year-old the way that the interface works. That's so funny.
Okay, all right. So the story.
Let's see.
So this is not a guessing one because you were on the punchline. Well, the story is we were sitting at lunch today, and Naomi's like, Mary Mac, and she's like, Mummy, do the Mary Mac song. So Ali's like, Mary Mac, 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 dressed in black, black. And she's like, oh, that one. I'm like, what? I watched that one. I'm like, oh, okay, what? This is like, we're just sitting having lunch. I'm like, okay, well, we can watch it later. What episode is it? What else happens? Mary Mac. Like, yeah, it's Bluey and Bingo. They're doing Mary Mac.
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but what episode is it? Which one is it? Looking at my wife, and then I'm just like, Mary Mac. They're singing, and she's like, yeah, it's okay, but what else happens? She's like, Mary Mac, Struck goes over, and Muffin goes, stop first!
Just as an afterthought.
Yes.
She finally gets it, and we're like, oh, okay, stop first.
I was waiting for her to say Muffin falls over, because that's what happens directly
No,
after.
she's like, Muffin, stop first. And we both laugh. We're like, oh, it's stop first. And she laughs because she realised that was funny. Yeah. She'd actually remembered the name of the episode.
Yeah. And she got the joke.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
Wonderful.
that was a good one. And I think that actually literally happened today. So I've got
Oh, there you go. Nice. Guys, I'm feeling pretty Christmassy. I'm feeling crazy. It's a little peek behind the curtain. We are going to release this a lot closer to Christmas than it actually is, but we are at a time.
You guys told me it was Christmas. You had me locked up in a room.
I wasn't supposed to say that in front of Martin. Oh, the gig is up.
Welcome back to Adelaide, where we live in the past.
No, I'm feeling Christmassy. Frankie, you feeling Christmassy?
100%.
Marty, you feeling Christmassy?
100%, yeah.
Let's see if the lads at the pageant are feeling very Christmassy.
Thanks, lads. And we should lay down the rules. My
yes.
rule. My rule about... Have I talked about this before?
No, I think I know what you're going to say, though.
In terms of... Because we were just talking about Christmas trees and Christmassiness. You go into shopping centres in, late October, and there is Christmas decorations up.
No sooner is Halloween done, then it's straight into Christmas.
My rule is, you see, the pageant is a very special day for me, because that is the turning point.
That marks the official start, I would say.
After the pageant, it's on for young and old.
Yes.
All bets are off, and it's Christmas time, baby.
I mean,
decorations, carols. I will be spinning my vinyl copy of Paul Kelly's Christmas Train later today.
And you can tell all bets are off because Brenny's done an extremely professional podcasting thing and talked with a mouthful of donut as he's describing.
Like I said, cinnamon, Christmassy.
Stop the presses.
Stop the press.
Wow. It's
He
happening.
is here. The man himself.
Naomi, Jack, who's this?
What are they, Jack? What's out the front there? Deer, reindeer.
That's it.
And who's the man in the big red suit? It's not Brendan.
It's not me. It's the man. It's the big guy.
Have you been a good boy, Brendan?
I like to think so.
Marty, you're not on the naughty list, are you? We spoke about this.
There's still time.
There's still time.
So it also means that Auntie Ness has been successful in getting Father Christmas to the end.
Thanks, Auntie Ness.
Thanks, Auntie
What did
Ness.
Ness do?
She works on the Christmas pageant.
Oh, does she?
I
didn't know that.
Usually describes it as making sure that Father Christmas gets to the end.
Right.
If you need something to go off against all odds, I'd call Marty's sister.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. Thanks, Ness. This day truly belongs to you. Well, here we are at the town hall.
It's happened.
Well, we're not at the town hall. We're at Marty's place. But it's just, with the resolution on TVs these days, it's like we're really there.
It is basically we're there.
And more importantly, who actually is there? Father Christmas. Old St. Nick himself,
Look at him
blowing
go.
slow motion kisses to all the people who braved the elements. I couldn't have said it better myself than the way it was said by the queen of the pageant when she said to Santa, "Welcome to Adelaide." And I'd like to extend the same welcome to Marty and Ali.
Yay!
And Naomi, who's chopping up a toy avocado as we speak.
That's right.
Thank you guys for having us at your home to be, quote, on location, unquote, at the Adelaide National Pharmacy's pageant.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you guys here.
They look cold.
Yes, there are a few cold-looking faces out there.
I'm so
But we're
cozy
nice
and
and
warm.
warm in here.
Yeah, I'm so cozy and warm on this nice couch.
With our Yule log.
Our Yule
cup
log
of cocoa.
roasting on the open fire. It is almost Yule log weather.
I'm going to go get some eggnog, guys. You want some?
Okay, make mine a double. Thanks for coming along, Jack.
Got one of these?
And thanks, Naomi. High five.
Have our name.
Boom.
Nice.
Shall we say thanks very much once more from the streets of Adelaide? Wink, wink. And I hand it back over to those handsome lads in the studio.
There's something about them,
I wish
isn't
I was
there?
there with them right now.
I've got a crush on one of them. I'll tell you that.
I know who you're talking about. What?
It's me, isn't it?
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, gentlemen. Those guys, they seem like good dudes.
I'd love to hang out with those
We
guys.
should hang out with them sometime.
I've got a crush on one of them.
You can't do the thing that's in the thing. Oh, wow. Oh, well, it's Christmas. Isn't that the attitude that they always have in movies? Like, come on, let them get away with it. It's Christmas.
Christmas.
Hey, it's Christmas.
Hey.
Come on, it's Christmas. We can break the rules. Listeners, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And thank you for indulging our childhood memories of the Adelaide Christmas pageant. That was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. Bluey's a lot of fun. Christmas is a lot of fun. Thank you for making Christmas a little bit more special by bluifying it, Mr. Brum and the whole team at Ludo. Well, I think we should just wish everyone happy holidays and merry festive times. And look, those kids, you're Jack, Frank, and you're Naomi, Martin. They are beautiful young people. And they were doing some pretty good jumping on the bed, pretending to be monkeys. Can we just, in fact, I think the instigator of the monkeys jumping on the bed, it's encapsulated in this, when Naomi said,
"Let's jump together."
To which Jack responded,
"Yes."
You remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so the culprit has revealed themselves.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what we're saying?
To every leader, there is a follower.
Oh, yeah.
They were so cute. They were holding hands and everything. If that's not what Christmas is about, I don't know what is. Maybe we'll close this episode out with a bunch of audio of them giggling and jumping on
Why
events.
not?
Because that's Christmas to me.
Yay!
And until next time, listeners, thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Brenny.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Frank and Brendan.
Hey! It's Christmas after all. Aisle 300.
Left of the fake snow.
And if you hit a reindeer, don't forget to say you're sorry.
Created and produced by Frank, Brendan and Marty. You can follow the Hammerbarn Project on facebook.com/HammerbarnProj, at HammerbarnProj on Twitter, or Hammerbarn_project on Instagram. Theme featuring Nibblings, Kaylee, Jade, Ashley and Reese, and PA announcements by brother-in-law, me, Josh. Thanks for listening, and remember to get down to Hammerbarn for cheap shovels.